All right, folks, it's the holiday season and you're out, you're visiting relatives, you're doing whatever, and usually your car, if you've got kids or whatever, your car is packed full and you can't bring a lot of extra disc golf stuff with you. If you're lucky enough, you can bring a full bag, but you're probably not going to be able to bring a target basket or anything like that. So what do you do if you've got a little time? Maybe the family's driving you a little crazy and you want to get outside and practice. Well, just get a little creative. And we're going to talk about how you can practice wherever you go, right after the intro. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm up in Tennessee with my son. We're at a place because he's trying to go deer hunting and get his first deer. And so we happen to be where there's a decent bit of land. Like you can see, there's a good bit of land around me here. And so the first thing is I could just practice throwing and driving, practice distance shots. And the other thing is I could just start picking out some trees and use them as targets if I need to. So that's the first thing. But most of y'all probably aren't going to have the access to that. You're just going to be wide open fields and stuff that you can play on. But you might have a backyard or something like that. So the very first thing I would talk about practicing, let me grab my disc, is if you've got a tree and a little bit of space. I mean, let's face it, you only need about 30 feet and a tree and you can practice your putting. Now here I put this broom. What I'd want to do is strap this to the tree if I was going to do something like this, if I just didn't want to beat up my disc too much. But this is a natural thing that you can do to set up where you're just practicing. Let's see if I can knock it over. Yeah, oh, I kept it up there. How about now? But you could take a piece of cardboard, you could take anything hanging on a tree and just set up a target where you're practicing and just hitting that spot over and over again. To be honest, back when I lived in Thailand, I made targets out of PVC pipe. I created a square and then I just hung some simple chain down the middle of it so if it went through, it'd make some noise. And that became my practice target baskets. And it didn't take a lot of PVC. It was cheap. I could go out in the field and I could set a couple of those up and I'd throw back and forth because I didn't have any baskets. Nobody was playing disc golf in Bangkok. And so I had to make my own targets, but I knew I needed to practice. I knew I needed to hone my shots, and so I just used what was available. Speaking of using what's available, this is one of my favorites. That's really super cheap, easy, and just about everybody has it, or you could just run by Walmart. Cost you about, what, $9-10? Coming up right after I go get my disc and turn the camera around. Okay, before we talk about this next thing, please make sure to go like and subscribe. I'm on a journey to 5,000 subscribers, hopefully before the end of February, before I go up to the expo in Boston, and I'd love you to help me out there. I was thinking about it while I was going to grab these guys, is in the last year, I've gone through, I think, 3 or 4 gimbals, 2 sets of microphones. I've dropped things, broken things. I mean, this has been a costly little journey for me to figure out this YouTube thing. And so just by going down and hitting that subscribe button, you could help me out, maybe make up some of the loss I've had in this thing. But anyway, that's just a side note. You'd really help me out on my journey to 5,000. Okay, here's one of the easiest, best little training buddies that you can use right here. When you're like Pete, it's a folding chair. It's a, yeah, exactly. All you need is a little camp chair, and it's a perfect practice buddy for you. First of all, if you get tired, you can sit down in it. But one of the things that you need to practice with your disc golf is touch. And this isn't a perfect basket. Yeah, maybe you could put it on a box and get it about basket height, but you can work on dropping the disc into the chair. You're working on touch, you're working on control and keeping it in there, okay? So then, this is your ad hoc. You probably have one wherever you go, or you could probably sneak one of these in the car if you can't do a practice basket. But then this becomes your target, and you can make up games. You got 2 of them, you go back and forth, you work on your putting back and forth. It's just super simple, super easy to take with you, and what a great little training tool. I put it a little farther out, and then it becomes my target just like my basket. I'm trying to land near it, get in circle 1, get inside the bullseye. But your wife, your family won't be arguing with you about bringing a chair. You're like, but honey, we need to go da-da-da. It's the perfect little, sneaky little practice tool that a lot of people don't think about. Oh, see, you got to be able to drop it in there. Now that the wind's picked up, it's getting a little harder. Heck, you could even do that inside, in a room. Take that, you gotta watch out for the ricochets where it's gonna go. But a simple little chair can get you a lot of practice, even if there's nothing else available. Well, there you go, down and dirty, quick and easy. This is all just part of my Vlogmas, so these are not gonna be long and expansive. Some of them are gonna be more in depth, but this is just to say, hey, welcome to the holidays. I hope you're having a great time with your family, and you're having a great time out there playing disc golf, and I hope to see you out on the course.